Joanna Nieves is with us, and South Carolina solicitor Kevin Brackett with us as well. Good morning to you both. Joanna, I just first want to say, I know you've been on our network before, but never with me, so I'm very sorry for your loss. I know this case is also personal to you, and you can give us legal analysis as well. But with Dan Markel being one of your former professors, what do you think when you hear initially that audio from Wendi making that tasteless joke about a latex spouse?
Good morning, Julie. I think you hit it right on the head. It's tasteless. I don't think that for the sake of a giggle in a document that you're writing, that it's appropriate to do it. I think that it reveals more about her as a person and the character that she has, and that if prosecuted, it is something that's going to be on repeat and looped throughout the jury trial if it ever gets that far. Because I think that if you've got any sort of compassion, whether he was her ex-husband or not, you're not going to make these callous or tasteless jokes at his expense. And I think it exposes the underlying feelings that she had for him, or the lack thereof.
Right. Joanna, yes, you're exactly right. The lack thereof. And she talks about that in the podcast. In fact, we have a clip on that point exactly. Let's roll it now.
We married when I was in my mid-20s, when I thought I could cheat the system and marry a man I lacked passionate love for because, hey, didn't that die anyway during marriage? I saw his intellect and big heart and thought he would make a wonderful father for my children. Our marriage dissolved after the children arrived, as the loneliness of being married to someone that didn't view me as an equal crept in.
Kevin Brackett, your thoughts on what Wendi is saying here?
Wendi sounds very self-involved to me, Julie, like the world revolves around Wendi, and it's all about Wendi all the time. Reminds me of several people I've prosecuted over the years. How she could talk, that she had those thoughts about him before he was murdered, before she even married him, that she kind of made this calculated assessment like, well, I don't really love him, but what the hell, I'll go ahead and marry him because he looks like he'll be a good dad and a good earner, whatever. But then to talk about him like that after he's killed, I mean, she's not giving any thought, obviously, to how she sounds to other people. And she's not giving any thought to how her children, when they grow up and hear these kinds of things, are going to respond to it, because it just sounds callous. I mean, latex, I didn't love him. What kind of work does he do? Well, he's not working much now. Sort of these are all just really cold and sort of, just reveal a personality that's devoid of any character at all, Julie.
You said that so well, Kevin. I think you're exactly right. And she chooses her words so carefully, maybe too carefully. I made myself a note when I listened to the podcast twice over the weekend, and when she's talking about how she didn't know about Dan's murder. And remember, we know the plan with her, right? She goes out of her way to drive that direction that day, and she goes to a liquor store and goes to meet a friend for lunch. And we know that there were closer liquor stores to her house. We know that, she's seeing the crime scene tape and all the emergency vehicles, the lights, everything, but never bothers to check on Dan or her kids, right? She says, what she's discussing about his murder, she says, quote, I only found this info when? I only found out this information when I was accosted at my lunch, she says something, I'm paraphrasing now, by police who interrupted my luncheon date to question me, or I think she used the word interrogate me. No, why is she saying I only found about this when? Why is she explaining like as if she's qualifying there? Isn't she, Joanna, qualifying like to say, I was at lunch when police came in would be you would think the way somebody who had no involvement would say it, but perhaps somebody who may be allegedly trying to cover tracks might slip that word only in there. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think it's a preemptive strike. Here's the thing. We know that she's a writer. She's practicing in a writing class. I think that she's thoroughly thought about all the things that she's going to say and is very intentional with the words that she chooses. We know that she's intelligent enough to secure a position as a law professor, and she's an educated lawyer. So I think that the wordplay and the way that she's dancing around things is very contrived. And we can't look past that in terms of her involvement. I mentioned before on one of the episodes, I do think that this is one of those cases where the prosecution has knocked dominoes down bit by bit. And I don't think that Wendi is off the hook. Will it be a difficult case to prove? So many cases are, but I don't think that we should give up hope at this point for complete justice for Dan.
Yes, I love what you're saying there, Joanna. You're right. Not an easy case. Neither was Charlie's, neither was Donna's, as you both know. Speaking of Mama Donna, Wendi talks about her. Let's listen.
She is selfless, generous, loving, and beautiful. She thinks she is fat. She once got turned down for Weight Watchers because she didn't have enough excess weight to be admitted to the program. She thinks she is stupid. My mom, who won the New York Spelling Bee for middle schoolers when she was only in the 6th grade. I'm so many of the things I am because of who my mom is and who she wants me to be.
I wonder how Donna's doing this morning. All right, we have about a minute left, so I want to ask both of you, who else you think should be charged here? Starting with Wendi. Kevin, your thoughts on her, please.
Well, I mean, I don't know everything they know, and I don't think they've shared everything they know. The prosecution, that is, they've done a great job up till now. But of course, some of the evidence they might use against her would not necessarily come in against the other folks. So I hope that there's still more to come. But I think Wendi is definitely high on the list of people that need to be charged if there's sufficient evidence to do so. Also, the father clearly had some relationship with the individuals who were responsible for murder, talking to the trigger man. So I absolutely think that the needs to be looked at very hard as well.
Kevin, thank you for that. Joanna, who do you think needs to be charged next, if anyone?
I agree. The same. I find it hard to believe that this family was able to do things while keeping Harvey and Wendi insulated from knowing what was going on. The approach is very transactional. When we hear the way Wendi talked about, well, I to have kids with him and I thought he'd be a good father. It's a transactional thing. So why wouldn't his death also be transactional like that? And I think that she is a part of it. I do think Harvey had knowledge. He's been married for several years and he was on flight on his way out of the country. So I think that there's more to come. I have more thoughts on it as well in terms of what the prosecution may be waiting for. But obviously, in my opinion, they wanted to get information out of Wendi for all of these other trials. They gave her the use and derivative use immunity for her testimony, but I think that they can still prosecute her, and then there's more to be seen that we haven't even laid eyes on yet.
Yes, Joanna. And before we have to let you go, would you share with us a little something about Dan Markel that people may not know? Something about him, some memory you have, anything that you think people would appreciate as we remember him?
Sure. I think it's hard to say what they may not know because his life has been so exposed at this point, but he was a very, very person. That's one thing I remember, being intimidated in that intimate class. It was an advanced level class, and being intimidated by his breadth of knowledge. And so it was a great loss for the FSU College of Law.
Oh, and Joanna, thank you for that. Well, look how well he did. You're living proof of that, how he was able to influence you and shape you, and what a great career you've had. Thank you so much for coming on this morning, Joanna. I hope to see you soon.
Don't forget to like and share this video, and for more legal insights, keep watching and subscribe to our channel.